So we're gonna check out this little island here and some of the little patches of trees. They all kind of connect out in these cattails. And this is really remote. This is probably, what do you think we are? A little over 2 miles now?
Yeah, I would say
2 miles out. And when I've hunted out here, I've seen hunters everywhere around here except for in here. So it's probably worth looking at. Even during gun season, I've never really seen anybody in this patch.
Yeah, it certainly, I think, is in a pretty ambitious spot to get into.
Yeah.
You have to be a pretty serious hunter to get in here.
Hopefully,
I mean, we're standing in the middle of a lake.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can even get over there. It looks like there's a little flow going through here. I can see like a little creek going through the middle of this. Hopefully we can hop over it. So we're on that island, and it's grass and high ground, all willow trees. And it's completely surrounded by cattails and water. And I'm not seeing any human sign at all, and I wouldn't expect to. But then those cattails are this high. This is a little oasis. And this trail's real heavy. We're seeing fresh deer tracks everywhere. I think we need to walk around and figure this out, but I don't think this looks bad. What do you think?
I agree. I really like the look of this spot. I think it's remote enough. You're not going to have much pressure in here.
Oh, there's a nice rub behind you. Nice as in high. See that? I didn't even notice that.
There you go.
Ain't much in here to rub, but oh look, there's a little bed here. See that?
Oh, sure enough.
Yeah.
I'm liking what we see already. We just got onto this island.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in some of the trees off of the point of this island.
Me too. I think that's where we're going to see some of the best stuff.
It's predominant wind off the end of that island. So.
Well, I think we're going to. A west wind would come like this, so we can get in here with you know, with the wind hitting them. You know, maybe even circle around into this side of it. Yeah, but I want to see what's going on over there too before I decide to have my wind blowing that way. Maybe you got to wait for an east wind or a south wind might be better that's blowing off into nowhere land that way. So as we're walking on this trail, there's more rubs. Here's another one. I mean, that ain't the most giant, but it's a decent height. You know, and you can see there's some old ones too, so there's historical ones as well. This one's hit historically. And look at this one here. That's a real good one.
Oh, look at that.
You see that? That's getting up to waist high. That's pretty good. And look at this, all these little branches back here are broken off, you know.
Yeah, chest high.
Yeah. This is looking pretty good.
We've spent a minute on this island.
Yeah,
and, we have
there's an old one right there. Look at it, right behind you. All this historical sign.
Yes. They are either in here or they're traveling this. But I think judging by some of these rubs, we have some early season sign too.
Yeah, this isn't the kind of trees that deer usually rub. So to find rubs in here like this is pretty exciting. You know, if this is aspen or something, I'd expect rubs. But yeah, there's a lot of rubs around here. There's another one here. That's another high one.
Yeah, that's early season again.
And now we're getting into where we thought the bedding would be, which is down to this stuff. You're like, look at that little island there.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah. Look at this. Check this one out.
Oh my gosh.
And here's a big historical one right there. See that? But this is a pretty big buck.
That is a good buck. That is a good buck.
Oh yeah, that's
no
nice.
Question.
That is belly high. That's a mature buck. There's some smaller ones there. This is looking pretty good, dude.
This is looking really good. I mean, once again, we just got in here. I can't keep the camera off. There's a nice historical up here.
Yeah, nice.
There, that one's pretty high from this year.
Oh yeah, something big is running this. Yeah, look at that. The trail's kind of turning now and going right into that what we thought would be the bedding, which is right here, the main portion of the bedding.
And this trail is really just running this transition of willows to cattails and wrapping around into what we assume is the bedding.
Look at these rubs.
Yeah.
And there's a few nice ones here.
Well, you can't be upset about the sign at this point in here.
No, not at all. There's a junction of trails right here, and that's probably why this is marked. Yeah, you see more rubs you didn't even see over in this end.
Yep.
But this is where everything kind of comes together. This is pretty heavy going into what we thought was bedding. So now the trail's getting really heavy here.
Look how deep this trail is.
No human tracks out here at all.
You know what I'm kind of paying attention to is I'm looking for deer hair to see if they're kind of using it now. Obviously we have some.
Fresh track?
Yeah, yep.
Every place there's bushes, just rubs either fresh or old.
Right.
But here's a big one here, dude.
Oh yeah.
And this is a bed right here. There's some stuff laying in it, but this is a bed. There's a big rub right in it. So is that running?
Yep.
So this is a bed right here. You can see the turds in it. See that? This is a bed during the season. Here's a big rub right in the bed. And this is that spot where we thought the beds would be. I can see another bed right there, a perfect one right there. I see another one right there, like all the way around this bush. You see beds. This is looking really good. You know, it's right in here.
No doubt about it.
Right up and under there. Look at how that's all compressed. Like a little cave when there's leaves on there. Oh, this is looking good, dude. Yeah, look at that bed there. Look at this bed in this cave here. This is where all the beds are. This is nice.
Yeah, every little patch of brush you look at is hit by, it's either historical or there's fresh.
So I can tell you right now that I want to be able to hit that union of trails. So I'm going to be looking at a wind that doesn't blow in here. I know that's going to be a setup. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where all those rubs were where the two trails split. Getting somewhere in there where we can set up. I mean, it's a very short distance from the trail. We can slide in there real quiet. We just can't have the wind blow in this direction. I think that would be a good spot.
I agree.
But let's continue looking, figure out exactly where the spots need to be, and then we'll look at pinning them down exactly. With all this bedding right here, I'm willing to bet all these deer get up and go right through that funnel.
Look how browsed down a lot of this green is already.
Yeah, this is just solid beds, dude, one after another, too. Look at these rubs here. Look at this. Then right on this side, there's a bed and there's old historical rubs in there.
Every bush in here too looks like it could hold some bedding.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter
All bedded there for a little bit.
Just a matter of timing, right?
Yep.
And
so what we could do is we could have a setup down there someplace too. But actually that pile of brush down there looks like it could be bedding. Let's look at that first. Let's take a look at that and then we'll come back and we'll look at the backside of this.
And we know that we have ag out this way. I mean, really, actually, ag kind of surrounds this whole area.
And ag this way.
Yeah, yep.
This trail definitely isn't as used as much as the one going out that way, though. But it is used. That tree's got some rubbing on it right there, real high up.
Why do you think then that they might be exiting that way a lot more often than they are this way? Do you think it has to do with cover? Do you think they're just getting up super late?
There's a lot of remote food sources off that way. And there's good cover going that way. The main human access is over here. And you have to go through a lot of swamp before you hit ag that way. I think most of the ag is going to be that way.
Sure.
Look at this spot here. Come in here once, check this out. See this big rub up here high? See the beds in there that are crushed down? Obviously they're not using that right now, but when this was high, when the cattails were high and stuff, that was a bed. And if you look right here, here's a big scrape. Look at how high these branches are broken in the scrape.
Look at that.
Here's another scrape over here, look at this.
This branch is busted off at my face height.
Look at this scrape here. There's a scrape right here. Look at the size of these branches that are broke.
Oh,
and look at where his antlers were rubbing back here. Look at how far back that is from the scrape branches. There's something really big running back here.
Yes, there is.
This has got me a little excited.
This is awesome.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't real excited about this, and I have to admit, Erik kept saying, let's go in there, let's go in there, let's go in there.
Felt like it just looked so good to me. It just looked remote, hard to get to.
And you know what, when we got over here, and we started talking about it, and I looked at it, I thought, wow, that really looks like it does lay out well. Okay, let's do it. But I have to admit that it was Erik's idea to come in here. And I did say when we were talking about that, every time I'm back here, This is the only place I've never seen humans ever. It's completely surrounded by water, and we have little islands out here.
And to back that up, also, Dan, you've hunted near here, and you've seen deer cross that waterway and come in
and out of here. Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
Right.
I think these deer over here are getting up going this way, and they're going to go past that tree anyways that we were talking about hunting. I think that's the spot to be.
That makes sense.
And there's really no place to set up over here. I'm thinking that there's some bedding over here too, but all the times we've been in here, we don't see a lot of deer crossing over there. We see some, I mean.
Right.
But I think that these deer are probably getting up coming this way and then going over to the crops. I think we really need to concentrate on that end. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. There's some good trails in here, but I think it's really just
they're petering too.
Deer coming through.
They're petering. Yep. They're getting lighter and lighter and lighter, like the deer are going that way.
Right.
You know, this is. So I think
looks like there could be a bed tucked up in that brush, and of course we already
absolutely
kind of.
I'm sure there's beds tucked in all this brush, dude. Look at that rub real high up in there.
Yeah.
See it? Yeah, that's definitely a bed. Look at that. That is definitely a bed.
I could
There's
see,
even a little bed back in there over the branch.
There's a historical rub right in
the
it.
shape of a deer right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think something actually big could live right here.
Right there.
This is a nice little isolated patch of brush.
Sure.
Which is what I like about this. But I think, yeah, beyond this, I don't think we're gonna see a lot that we don't already expect.
All right, let's take a look at the backside just to see what's going on over there, and then we'll look at where we're going to set up.
Okay.
The good part about this is with this grass all laying down, the deer aren't in here right now. Yeah, there's tracks in here. We're running into deer tracks. The deer sign is fresh, but they're not bedding here right now. So we're not doing a huge amount of damage, but we're able to see everything that went on in fall and have everything ready and catch them by surprise when we come back. Which I'm talking to you right now, and I'm looking behind you, and there's massive rubs behind you. Check this out.
Can't wait to turn around.
Check this out. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Holy cats.
Wow. Stay over here once, and I'll go around the backside of these. Oh, there's a massive one on this tree on the backside. Yeah, look at this. This side is rubbed up here, and this side's rubbed on this side. This side's rubbed on both sides too. Wow.
That is some good stuff.
Yeah, I bet you they're bedding right under these bushes. You know, right in these little open spots. You know they are. We see the beds in some of the spots.
Right, and like you said, this grass is going to be 4 or 5 feet tall. And we have cattails right in here too, and that offers great cover.
Yeah, there's a massive rub right here you didn't even see too. There's everywhere on this thing.
What do you think, Dan? I think we're in a little buck Mecca here, right?
Yeah. Obviously, there's a time period when there's a lot of big bucks in here.
All about timing.
I think we need to try this early season, and I think we need to try this rut.
Yep, this is very clearly some early season bedding.
So we're coming up to this tree, and I can see there's this trail here that goes back to where we were going to set up. There's several trails coming from this way, several trails coming from that way. It's like everything's meeting right here. And here's a couple massive scrapes right here. This tree's all mangled up. There's a scrape right there with the branches still laying in it. Look at that. All mangled from the deer antlers. And then this one here is way up here. It's just mangled with branches broken way up here. You know what this is telling me? I mean, this is like what, the 3rd or 4th scrape we found.
Yeah.
That's telling me, with all this rubbing, I bet you this is a good spot rut. I bet you rut, this is really active. And you know, when I was gun hunting near here, I saw a lot of does coming in and out of here. So I bet you rut, there's a lot of buck activity in here.
This is some great looking sign.
There's a little bedding hole right here. There's beds all over the place. Look at how high that is. Can you see that?
Yeah.
There's another bed back there. That's a mature buck.
That is a mature buck.
And there's like little holes here where he's bedding in here. What they like is in this grass, they like to get under this cover that has leaves. Yeah. They like to get under this cover that has leaves and be in the shade, you know what I mean? And this is just, there's obviously big bucks just living in here for a time period that if we hit the timing right, I mean, we're gonna get a crack.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Look at the stuff you're pointing out over there to me. Look at the height of these rubs, man.
It is just shredded all the way throughout here. This
crazy.
is some pretty cool stuff, and we're seeing this throughout this whole island.
Dude, look up that tree at how high the points go in.
Yeah, all the way up to here.
Yeah, look at that branch behind your finger. Next branch over.
Where?
Past it.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
oh,
look at how high that goes with the tines. I mean, that's as high as your head, dude.
And this is early season stuff, wouldn't you say?
Right, and there's a bed right there. And this trail is massive here. This trail here is just massive.
I'll tell you what, this is as excited as I have been this spring for scouting this year.
This is your favorite spot so far, huh?
So far, this is it.
Oh, look, another scrape right at the bed. I didn't even notice it.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. What is that, scrape number 27?
Right around there.
Yeah. You can tell that this tree has been rubbed for years and years and years. And here's those marks I was talking about.
Gosh, I didn't even realize.
That is 6 feet off the ground.
I didn't even realize how high those were until I stood back a little bit. My gosh.
Yeah. Oh, dude, look. Look at here. Look at that mark there. The tine's hitting. That's over 6 feet.
Oh my gosh. We're in some stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
Here, this is all hitting here. Not really high, but...
Yeah, that doesn't excite me after the other stuff you saw.
No, but everything in here, everything you look at is
everything that
shredded.
can be rubbed is rubbed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't need much more sign than this to believe
I
that.
really think pre-rut this is going to be hot. I think early season there's some bucks in here too, though.
You're getting a little higher back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bed back there too. You see that?
Yep.
Little hole. Wow, a good bed. Look at that. That is just pounded down.
Holy cow. I think we found something here. Right there.
Look at that bed. Yeah, you pointed it before I did.
Gosh, there could even be bedding up here.
Yeah, every one of these bushes, dude.
Just one after another. This place is just rubbed up like crazy.
What this is, in case you guys don't know, is this is an island of just slightly higher ground in the middle of a giant swamp. You know, this is completely surrounded by water, and we are miles from public access.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just very, very remote. And what we're finding is these huge bucks that we're finding are either extremely remote or they're right under people's noses.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other. It's like the in-between stuff is the stuff that sucks.
It's remote, but it also, in some sense, I believe could be called an overlooked spot.
Yeah. Your average guy ain't gonna hunt this right either. He ain't gonna find us. He's gonna come in here. If he did find it, he'd stumble in here and go into the middle of it. Or we're looking at this and we're figuring out, well, where can we get at this without spooking these deer out here? Because I would imagine when this is being used, there's probably 50 deer in here. And then you walk in here wrong and you're gonna skick them out of here.
Yeah.
You know, we're already starting to put 2 and 2 together, where we gotta be, how we gotta hunt this. I mean, this is what do you think we have here of bedding? We have probably about a 3-acre bedding area.
Yep,
About a 3-acre bedding area.
Yep. And it is full of beds everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And you can tell this isn't good late season.
Right.
I mean, probably early season and rut is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not positive about early season, but I am positive about rut based on the rut sign we're seeing. But I would say they're probably in her early season too.
Yeah, I mean, judging by some of the rubs, look to me like they date back to early season, but...
Right, this is perfect. I mean, they're getting away from all the hunting pressure, away from all the people. They can come out of here in the cover of darkness, and they're not that far away from private crops.
Mm-hmm. It's in here.
Yeah, it's not easy to really even notice this for another hunter.
Right.
It's kind of just like in the middle of nowhere land.
Right.
Right now, we're in the middle of that 3 acres. If it's even 3 acres, maybe it's more like 2. But there's a little oasis of trees over here. There's some bedding, a little bit. Most of the bedding is over here. The better bedding, right in here. And it seems to be coming through and coming out this way, but some of it goes out that way. We could do this with 2 setups and have one over there, one over here. Or we could just do it one guy, because this is obviously the better spot.
Mm-hmm.
This trail coming out right here is, in my opinion, the best spot. I mean, there's a little bit of sign coming in from over there, but this is the main trail.
This is where we saw most of the giant sign.
Yeah, and this main trail coming out here is the heaviest trail on here, and it's heading out towards the crops. I think we got to cover this right here, and this is the one that's marked so heavy. All the rubs are right here, marking this coming out. So this has to have a setup. So we have to look at where to set up.
Yeah, you
right
get the
here.
timing correct here, and I think it's a done deal. Of course, it's never a done deal. Saying you get your shot right, it doesn't spook, that kind of thing, but this is really looking good.
Maybe that tree over there, you know, shooting over here, or right up into one of these trees, depending on how the travel.
What wind do you plan on hunting this, Dan? A north probably, and
wind, right?
northwest?
North wind, any kind of north, northwest, north. So that trail comes out, and where does it go? It comes out and goes this way, or it goes that way. So it splits here. And you don't want to be right on top of it. So, again, I'm thinking that tree over there. I mean, what is that? It's only a 20-yard shot, right there.
Right.
So a guy could get into that tree, don't you think? And that way too, you know, your westerly winds are more prominent. There is some bedding over there though, but you have to watch how high you're getting, right?
Right.
I'd rather be right here, but I think you're taking too much of a shot straight on it.
Yeah, you're right on top of them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because initially I really liked this tree here.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe I'd get in the middle of it and the trail was over here more, but it kind of goes right underneath
that was
tree.
the problem.
What I do like about over here is we climb over there, we gotta watch those beds down there that they don't see us climbing. Now, if a guy wasn't too high, that ain't too bad for a shot, but they're kind of angling towards you, right?
Yeah, yep. And we also have a trail coming right through here.
Yeah.
Right underneath you.
Yeah, I kind of like that tree over there, honestly. So it's just a matter of being able to get in there without spooking. So we got to remember the cattails are this high, so you get away with a little. But those beds are, a lot of those beds are right under those bushes, right?
Yeah. I think you got it picked out, Dan, honestly. I don't see a lot of other options out here.
That right here. That's there. I think when this has got leaf cover, we can get right there. This is going to be a low stand, right?
Yes. 2 sticks?
Yeah,
3 sticks?
2 sticks. And we can shoot right into there. We don't have to clear anything out or anything like that.
The only thing I would be concerned about is something sneaking out right up through this way, but
I think we can cover anything coming out of there. Now, what is nice about this too is that we can get up this thing on this side of the tree. So we're not spooking the deer over there, right?
Yep.
So right up here, cut a little hole. We can hit that too. And there's a lot of deer sign up in that grass there.
True.
There's little holes in the cattails. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think we're gonna have to stand right up here. Just have a little shooting lane out there and one over there, and I think this covers just about everything. And if one does come through over there, we should see it. We should get a glimpse of it.
And then you can make
and then
a
we
move.
can move.
Yep.
And we come in from straight that way. And I don't think any deer that goes that way will even know we were here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah. So I think this is our tree. Let's mark this one and then move on and find something else.
Cool. Hopefully you get into more great stuff like this.
Yeah.
If we could do this all day, it'd be a heck of a day.
There's a lot of great spots out here. So I
Yeah.
mean, there's some good potential for both of us.
This is exciting. It's hard not to scream sometimes.
I think this video really highlights how much work it takes to find and perfect one spot. And we're in a different spot almost every time we hunt, right? But this one spot, we found this one island. We took all this work of spending a whole day out there finding a spot and then scouting it down and finding the one tree we needed to be in order to make a kill there. It kind of shows the intimate knowledge you have to have of a spot, how the wind's got to go, where the deer are bedding, how the trails lay out, exactly where your tree's got to be, what the wind's got to be for your axis, exactly where your axis trail's got to be to affect those deer to the minimal and to have your highest odds. A couple things I didn't point out in the video. One is the willow brush. That stuff's going to lose its leaf cover, you know, in mid-early October, somewhere in that frame. Telling me that all that sign was laid down from when their antlers hardened to rut. That's a pretty short time frame telling me there's a lot of deer in their early season. I think Erik's urging that this is an early season spot. It's pretty right on. Also, if you notice the scrapes we found, a lot of scrapes, and they're all right at bedding areas where buck bedding areas were next to each other, telling me those are bed scrapes and competing bed scrapes. They're bucks competing for those bedding areas. Timing is everything. We're gonna have to wait for that north wind. We're gonna have to wait for the right conditions and have it in the right time frame and move in and hope everything goes right the day we're there. Now really, I might have overlooked this whole area if it weren't for Erik's urging to go out and check this island out. I thought willow brush, grass, kind of open, in the middle of a marsh surrounded by miles and miles of cattails. There ain't even food out there. What would be out there? But it's overlooked. Erik urged me to go out there and he started making me think in that direction. And when I went out there, I saw something I really liked, obviously. So now what we gotta do is me and Erik need to dive in even further in different areas of the same area and find spots that mimic the same thing. So we're gonna be looking for those willow islands. We're gonna be out there searching for that kind of feature. And we're gonna see what else we can find out there. So stay tuned, there's gonna be more videos as we venture back out. See ya.